Hello everyone, this is a November 2019 budget hero deck profile. So Malicious is at 3, Stratos is at 3. I thought I'd update this deck with a new profile. So this is still pretty much for people who bought legendary hero decks, but just need a few additional cards to update to the current ban list and to make the deck function as it should. And as for the deck, there's no expensive vision heroes, there's no masked hero Dion, there's no honest Neos, but the deck, it still works pretty well, it still can win. I was thinking about not running Isolde plus the equip spells, because Cross Crusader already does a decent job, but Isolde is another strategy that I did decide to run here, so tell me what you think. Hope you enjoy, and let's begin. So we start off with 3 Shadow Mist and 3 Solid Soldier as well. So not running the Vision Heroes, you really need to fill in the gaps of the deck and fill up those slots. So I decided to bump these cards to 3. So the main combo is to normal summon Solid Soldier and special summon Shadow Mist and search that mask change. And they both have additional effects. This one can search any hero from the deck when it hits the graveyard. You can only use one of these effects per turn, so usually searching that mask change. But when this one hits the graveyard due to a spell effect, you can special a hero from the graveyard. So polymerization actually works to trigger this card's effect, and you can keep going with your combos and keep going with your plays with Solid Soldier's second effect. So 3 Stratos. This card is finally at 3 and really ups the consistency of the deck because it really completes the puzzle of your hand from the deck, searching whatever piece that you need, whatever material to complete your combo. So you need the Solid Soldier to special Shadow Mist, you need the Shadow Mist to be special summoned, you need the Vion to dump. Sometimes you have 3 monsters on the field, you need the Plasma. All of those cards could come in handy, and this card, Stratos, just like I said, ups the consistency. So 3 Malicious. This card I think helps out at 3 even more than Stratos because it special summons itself. It spams your field and loads up your field to be used as Link and Fusion, or you can use it as Link material. You can use it for your Dark Claw. It's a dark monster. It really, especially with Fusion Destiny, it really helps out the deck and just spamming your board. So 2 Vion, I dropped this card to 2 to make space, but you really don't need it at 3 anyway. This is really the alternate strategy that you're using in conjunction with Isolde. You're trying to special summon this card from the deck with Isolde to dump Malicious, because Fusion Destiny can get Malicious into the graveyard, but this is another way to do that. So 2 Blue Mountain Butterspy. This is your warrior extender. So I am running Isolde plus Cross Crusader. Both of those cards only require warrior monsters, so this is just another warrior body. 1 Celestial and 1 Dynatag. I'm pretty sure a lot of hero decks will run one of these cards. Celestial is mainly for the draw power. You banish it from the graveyard, usually with Malicious to draw 2 cards. It can also pop like field spells or continuous spells, anything that can be a problem, but usually for the draw power. Dynatag you want in the graveyard. In addition to being a hand trap, in the graveyard, when you banish it, you can make your Dystopia effect live. And then finally 1 Plasma. So this is another alternate strategy here. So it is pretty easy to spam the field with 3 monsters to tribute to special summon this card. It's a one-sided skill drain, which is inherently very strong, and it is a form of non-destruction removal, equipping those opponent's monsters to this card, and it can have a lot of attack. It can be pretty hard to out this card, and sometimes you can end your board with this card plus a Dark Claw in the other main monster zone after you tributed the Link monster in the extra zone to summon this card. And finally for the monsters, 3 Effect Veiler. So this could be any hand trap, but this is usually going to be the cheapest and the best for the price. So this did come out in Legendary Hero decks as well. So 3 Mask Change for our spells. This card is going to be one of my favorite fusion style spell cards, probably for the remainder of this game's existence, because it only requires 1 material, unlike polymerization. So it's very easy to go into your Dark Claw, which is just such a strong boss monster to interrupt the graveyard and to rip cards out of your opponent's hand. So I really like this card a lot, and of course it's searchable by Shadow Mist. So 3 Emergency Call. These are the 4th, 5th, and 6th copies of all the elemental heroes, the Stratos, the Solid Soldier, and the Shadow Mist. So whatever card you need, just like Stratos, it just ups the consistency and helps you complete your hand to make your combos. So 3 Fusion Destiny, as well as 1 polymerization. So Fusion Destiny is really nuts. You really want to see it in the opening hand because you can use materials from your deck to summon your Dystopia or your Dangerous. So you're actually sending Malicious to the graveyard in doing so, and getting that free material on the field to be used for your Cross Crusader. So you banish that first Malicious that you sent to the graveyard to special summon the second one, use the second one on the field plus the Dystopia in the extra zone to go into your Cross Crusader, and then the combo extends from there, and I'll get into it when I cover Cross Crusader. Polymerization just helps you go into sometimes the Destiny heroes, but also the Vision heroes as well, and it just helps you get a body on the field without using your normal summon. So 1 A Hero Lives. This card is a 1-card Dark Claw, just very strong because you can always pay half your life points, and it helps you go into one of the strongest monsters really to interrupt your opponent's plays in this deck. One Monster Reborn, which is even stronger in this deck than usual because Mask Change only requires one material, like I said. So this card plus a Mask Change equals Darklaw. And then one Rhoda. So this is your 7th copy of these Elemental Heroes, or your additional copy for any of the other warriors. And then we are running some equip spells: United We Stand, DDR, Moonmirror Shield, Living Fossil, Phoenix Blade. So you don't always have access to the Fusion Destiny. That can send your Malicious to the graveyard very easily, but if you don't see it in your opening hand, you do need a way on your first turn usually to special summon Vion from the deck, which is very helpful, and ultimately to send Malicious to the graveyard so you can banish and get that whole combo. So this it can brick, but I thought I'd hybridize these two ideas, both Isolde equip spell style in addition to Cross Crusader Fusion Destiny style. So for the extra deck, one Cross Crusader. So once you get this on the field using Dystopia and the first Malicious, or the second Malicious, you can tribute that second, or you can bring back the second Malicious using this card's effect when it is link summoned, and then you tribute that second Malicious to put it in the graveyard for a second time. To search any other hero, namely Stratos. But if you need Solid Soldier or Shadow Mist as well, you usually haven't normal summoned yet when this card is on the field, because Fusion Destiny sets up that whole play even without the normal summon. So then that second Malicious is in the graveyard for a second time. You banish it to summon the third one. Then you can go into your Darklaw if you have Mask Change in hand. You can use Malicious plus this card to go into your Dread Decimator, whether 2 zones or 3 zones. This card is actually a pretty decent beater too for a link too, so it's just a very strong card in this deck. One Dread Decimator and one Wonder Driver. So I've said this many times in the past with my hero deck profiles, but I feel like the main purpose of these cards is to summon a Darklaw underneath the Wonder Driver to get back your Mask Change, and then you link this card into this card to unlock 2 more zones. Hopefully that first Darklaw is still on the field, and you have a second Mask, or the first Mask Change in your hand for a second time to go into a second Darklaw. So this just gets you, the Dread Decimator just gets you more zones, plus a pretty decent body with piercing as well. One Isolde, so this is, like I've been saying, the alternate strategy. Don't always have access to the Fusion Destiny. That extra summon from the deck is just very critical to help you get one more monster on the field. Hopefully you can go to a rank 4 as well. And of course, searches the any warrior from your deck to your hand. So it can search you, unlike Rhoda or Emergency Call, this card can search you Plasma. So some generic links, Unicorn and Phoenix. So you just need some generic ones to make with, maybe you have an XYZ in the extra zone. You need to clear that zone, especially Unicorn pointing down is very useful. And these cards have been reprinted, so more affordable than ever. So the one XYZ is a giant hand, so I could run a Abyss Dweller, but Darklaw usually means that the graveyard interruption is sufficient and you don't need it. So this is just a different kind of quick effect here. Still a quick effect, but interrupts monster effects, negates monster effects instead. So sometimes you can have this plus the Effect Veiler plus the Darklaw, just ultimate interruption for a pretty budget deck. So fusions, 2 Darklaw plus an Aki. So Darklaw, as I've always said, is just amazing, even especially having 2 on your field, because you can rip multiple cards out of your opponent's hand, plus has that incredible graveyard interruption. So sometimes your opponent, once they see Darklaw, they just scoop because they really can't do anything, all their cards being banished instead of hitting the graveyard. Anki is just in here because I run 3 Mask Change and you can search them, as well as it's an easy way to inflict 1400 direct damage. So 1 Divine Wind for the last masked hero. This card is it's another option for Mask Change if you have Stratos on the field. So it has everything to do with battle. Can't be destroyed by battle, and stops your opponent from attacking with more than 1 monster during each battle phase. So even if they try to attack into this and get rid of that floodgate, it can't be destroyed. So just keep that, stopping your opponent from doing anything with the battle phase. And if it destroys an opponent's monster, draw 1 card too. So everything to do with battle, and just an additional option if you do have that miscellaneous Stratos on the field. Otherwise you wouldn't be able to do anything with it if you didn't run this card. Unfortunately, no Dion for your Solid Soldier target, but this is still in here. So Dystopia as well as Dangerous. So Dangerous you usually don't need because you can send Malicious to the graveyard with Fusion Destiny or with Vion, special summoning Vion from the deck with Isolde. But this card is still decent if you want to just maybe send Celestial or Dynatag to the graveyard. Dystopia is a beater in comparison to this card, so another reason to use this card. And these are just the targets for Fusion Destiny. And this one does have a quick effect too to pop a card if its attack is modified, so that is why Dynatag is in the deck. And then the last monsters are Trinity and Adoration. So Trinity is a reason that you want to go second sometimes, in addition to the Veilers, but going second is not always preferable, as many people know. But like in this deck, you have the Giant Hand, you have the Dark Claw. You generally want to go first, but this card can attack 3 times on monsters during each battle phase, and will have 5,000 attack during the turn that it's fusion summoned. So if your opponent sets up a board on the first turn with multiple monsters, and especially if they're weak monsters, you can sometimes go in for an OTK with this card alone. It is harder to do that without Honest Neos, but still very useful going second play. Adoration is pretty much an underclock taker with higher attack. So you're already winning in battle with the 2800, but this card just increases the difference a little bit. And this card can also be used to make, to tribute with Plasma too. There are some different plays that you can make with Adoration, tributing this monster or using it as material. So that's pretty much the budget hero deck for November 2019. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. The next video is going to be non-budget Nordics, so stick around for that one. Thanks. Bye-bye.